No wonder they call this show This is my review of Invincible Season 4, Episode 3, I've Gotta Have Some Air. And honestly, this episode hit harder than I was expecting it to. By the end of this episode, Mark is barely holding it together, Eve's powers are falling apart around her, and no, it's not what you think it is. And by the final scene, there's one reveal that changes everything going forward for this season. So this is going to be a 10-minute breakdown, no spoilers beyond episode 3. I'm going to walk through the 3 biggest moments in the episode when it comes to character work that really landed for me and what that all means for the rest of the season. So sit back, grab a Burger Mart and let's jump straight in. Okay, so we start with this where Mark is dealing with the aftermath of everything he's been through. I mean, you can definitely feel the weight on him from the very first scene. Man, he's jumpy, on edge, and clearly struggling with PTSD. But no one has stopped to check in to see if he's okay. And then we've got Eve. Her powers are silently falling apart. There's moments where it glitches out, and you can feel this instability becoming possibly one of the most important threads for the entire episode. So why are Eve's powers failing? And what does that mean for their relationship and the bigger mission at hand? Now let's talk about Sinclair. My gosh, he's back and he's working, making the Reanimen. And honestly, at first I didn't trust him. When you think about this man, he's had a genuinely terrible past. And the show I love always makes sure that you know that. It won't let you forget what he's done, but more to the episode, it's very rare that they're actually trying to let us know that he's trying to change. I mean, it doesn't erase the things he's done, but I do feel that the show is trying to show something that's rare in the villains. And honestly, I was not expecting to have any sympathy for him during this episode. So, I have to ask that question. Is Sinclair genuinely changing, or is this just another setup for something darker and later on in the season? And then we've got Cecil. He brings Mark in, lays it all out, and I love the conversation that follows. Mark doesn't make excuses. He owns what's happened, and that honestly matters, especially for someone carrying so much guilt. And I love Cecil, regardless of him being so cold, shows the respect to that, but also lets Mark know honestly what he's done and lets him know the truth. And it's still so rare to find a character in this world where everyone is always trying to protect their own image. But you know, it's Cecil. He always has an angle. So I'm like thinking, what really is behind the idea to bring Mark into the conversation right now? And now let's talk about the Machine Head and Titan storyline. And honestly, this is where I feel the episode loves to pull in threads, different threads all together. I mean, wow, Machine Head is back in the mix, and you can instantly feel the world is getting smaller and more connected because of it. You can see Titan's frustration and his powers are struggling, and it just helps to add another layer, I feel, to the moral grey that the show already loves to thrive in. First glance, for me, I just felt that seeing Machine Head back was just, oh, look, back to that old storyline. But as you look closer to the episode, you can see that they're setting up something and not working towards a payoff. There's something bigger coming, and I can see they're laying out all the pieces on the board so they can start playing this game. So, personally, I have to ask the question, what is Machine Head up to? We also get an amazing episode for Oliver where he gets to shine, and though it's a painful one, I mean, genuinely, he's trying. He's really trying, but you can pretty much see very quickly that he's in over his head. He's been thrown into a situation that obviously he's not ready for, and I love how the show doesn't soften that. I really appreciate nobody in Invincible is untouchable. The young characters are protected because they are young. Everyone here is being pushed. Everyone is dealing with real consequences. And for me, that makes each scene feel like it finally has weight. So, I mean, now I have to ask the question, if Oliver is already out of his depth in episode 3, what's going to happen when the threat is even bigger or more dangerous or life-threatening? This leads into one of the most interesting plots for the episode, and when you got recurring threats, and how do you solve a situation about this radar? And obviously Rex, the smart one, figures out it's on the other side. Now, I love how this show always keeps doing the thing where if you keep having a situation happen and you keep doing the same thing to resolve it, doesn't mean that you're actually fixing the problem. And of course, Rex puts the whole idea together, figures out that the emitter is probably on the other side of the enemy, and of course decides to go in. I mean, yes, we know it's risky, it's messy, but for me, it fits his character perfectly. He's always the guy who wants to finish the job no matter the cost. But when Rex and Monster Girl end up being trapped on the other side, the question has to be, are they going to be able to come back? And if they do, at what cost? Man, and then everything starts to escalate so fast. I mean, the fact that Monster Girl and Rex are trapped on the other side with the enemy. Mark is being pulled in to help Oliver. And I just love how the tension just keeps climbing and climbing. I love how this episode, no one is allowed to breathe. And honestly, it works so well for what you're seeing. Invincible, the show, is really good at applying pressure and creating that kind of storytelling where the stakes always seem to just get higher and higher to the point where you have to know what happens, making this show so, addictive. I mean, my question has to be, now that Rex and Monster Girl are stuck and Mark is clearly not in a good place, when it comes to threats that are going to be bigger than what they've already faced, who is left to help stop whatever is coming next? Man, yeesh. This emotional side for this episode really hit home for me. You can see Mark is terrified of losing control again and becoming something like his father. And I just love how every second you're seeing that fear. And then you've got Eve, who's been able to help him, but quietly is breaking down herself, which adds such another layer when you're looking at their relationship being the strongest part of the show. They're supporting each other, but you can clearly see both of them are not okay. And I really hope this series will eventually tackle and look at the prospect of getting proper help, counseling or therapy. Because clearly Mark needs it. He can't just be pushing through and fighting his way into the next episode. I think that's not a great idea. And so I have to ask the question, now both of them are so emotionally strained, how long can Mark and Eve keep holding together before something cracks? Then we get the big reveal, Eve is pregnant. Oh my gosh, this changes everything. I mean, the stakes for Mark, for the team, for the whole world shifted instantly. Suddenly, it's not just about stopping the next villain. I can imagine for her, what kind of world is she going to bring this child into? Will Mark be the father that he can be? Will he be able to protect, will they be able to protect the ones they love without becoming the thing that they fear the most? I mean, I love this show, and I still love how there's always place for the characters to grow and to face consequences instead of freezing them in place. I mean, I have to ask the question, how will Mark's father, Omni, react to the news that he's going to be a grandfather? So now we know how this episode is setting up this crazy fallout. We've got Eve's pregnancy, Rex and Monster Girl are stranded in enemy territory, and Mark can barely hold it together. Now, the real question is, how is the rest of the season going to handle all of this madness? Look, if you want to check out my first review about how we got here, click right here and just see how we got here in the first 3 episodes. I want to say thank you so much for clicking on this. Please let me know in the comments below what you thought of the episode. Please remember, if you can dream, you can be.